Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, Finding Elizabeth, and today is, I don't know, I think it's Wednesday, June 24th or 25th, 2015. I had mentioned on my video update, I'm sorry, I'm going to move this in a little bit, my video update on Monday that I was thinking about going to an Overeaters Anonymous meeting, and I did that tonight, and I wanted to make a quick video about it before I forgot, because I have a busy day tomorrow. Overeaters Anonymous, if you don't know, is a 12-step program similar to Alcoholics Anonymous. I have gone to Overeaters Anonymous a few times in the past, always just once, but at different times in my life. I was thinking on the way there tonight, well, what makes it easier to go now? Why do I feel less anxiety about it? Because in the past, I felt a lot of anxiety before I've gone. And I thought, oh, I know why I feel less anxiety about it, because every other time I went, I was probably the heaviest person in the room. And that I kind of equated that in my head to going to Alcoholics Anonymous like stinking drunk. So I knew tonight that it was very doubtful that I would be the biggest person in the room. However, this is Southern California, and Overeaters Anonymous is also for all eating disorders, including anorexia and bulimia. And that's been the problem at some of the meetings I've gone to, where not only was I the biggest person in the room, but I was the only person who didn't have anorexia or a purging disorder, which makes you really the biggest person in the room. So I felt much more at ease about going tonight. So why did I decide to go tonight? This is the embarrassing part that I don't want to say, and usually it's that part that I need to say. So one is, I said on my video on Monday that I have been realizing that I'm eating compulsively, and I need to get control of that, and I need to figure out what the triggers are. And yes, I know, I knew this going in, that weight loss surgery doesn't fix your head, but I had a lot of therapy that even got me to the point of having weight loss surgery. I have slacked off on the therapy over the last 6 or 9 months because I generally feel pretty happy. And it's only recently that I've started feeling a little bit of depression and anxiety, which is kind of new for me. Or maybe it isn't new. Maybe it's just because I don't eat to get rid of it all the time. So I actually feel it coming up. So I said that in my video, and I really try my best to do the things I say I'm going to do in my video, because I just feel like that's one of the tools that I use this YouTube channel for, is for accountability. But that's not the reason I went tonight. I knew, okay, I'm going to try to go before I make a video on Monday. But so something happened yesterday that kind of was just like, what the hell is wrong with you? And that's the thing that's a little embarrassing. So yesterday, I met Patty for lunch. We had a beautiful lunch on at a beautiful place overlooking the ocean in Laguna Beach. The food was incredible. The company was incredible. I felt like we always have a good time together. I felt like we connected. I had a couple of aha moments from things that she was talking about. And I had said before that I thought that this kind of compulsive eating was triggered by being lonely. Well, so I left that meeting not feeling lonely or badly in any way. I mean, Patty and I have, really walked through this journey together. From the very first night, she was one of the very first people that I saw when I walked into the Kaiser options class, because she was like gorgeous and very poised. And I remember thinking, I want to be friends with her. And then, little did I know, she also has like a keenly wicked sense of humor. And I just love her so much as a person. We've gone through this. We had our surgeries a day apart. We've just walked through this journey together. I feel very connected to her, very good about the time that I spend with her. So we had this great meal. I brought half of it home. It was salmon and brown rice and slaw, like Asian slaw. So driving home on PCH, which is like the most beautiful street in the world, the ocean's on one side, it's beautiful outside. I had the compulsive need to eat the food from my doggy bag with my fingers. Okay, yeah, that's embarrassing to say, but, you know, I've said lots of embarrassing things on here. And then I came home and I ate and ate and ate and ate and ate as much as you can eat and eat and eat and eat when you're a weight loss surgery patient. And in my head, I'm like, what the hell is that about? There is nothing bad. There is nothing whatever. And, you know, and thinking about it a little bit, I'm thinking, well, maybe it's as much about being connected to people as it is about being lonely, because I've noticed that I do compulsively eat after I've spent concentrated time with people, either at a WLS meet and greet, or like when I was in Arkansas and spent a solid week with a group of people. So who the hell knows what it is, but obviously my head is fucked up, and it hasn't been fixed by weight loss surgery. So I went to this meeting, and they tell you not to talk about or write about whatever was said in the meeting. So I'm only going to talk about the things that struck me. So my initial thing at going into any meeting like this is to think people are stupid. And I'm sorry, that's the way I am. It's changing a little bit as I get older, but not much. And also to always want to talk and not to listen. But I shut my face, and I listened, and I heard some things that were very relevant. And they read all this stuff at the beginning, which are their, the 12 steps, whatever their promises are. And it says one of the things that stood out to me was one of these things that they read said, the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop eating compulsively. And I wrote that down with a question mark, because I was like, I just have a real thing, and I think I've said this in other videos, I have a real problem with people telling me what to do, particularly as it relates to food. And it's like, do I really want to stop eating compulsively? Do I really want to have somebody dictate what I can eat? If I want to eat brown rice with my fingers in the car, do I really want to feel guilty about doing that? And that's something internally I need to work out. And the way the program works is, you know how, like in AA, if you're sober, you know you didn't have alcohol. From this day, you didn't have alcohol. Well, you can't not have food. So they define your like length of time as abstinence. And you sort of define what that abstinence is for you. It could be a particular food plan. It could be avoiding, certain foods like sugar. It could be avoiding certain triggers. And I need to think about that and what that is for me and what I'm willing to say that is. I mean, for me, the thing that came to mind when I was in the meeting was maybe that's one of the things they said was make a phone call before you take the first compulsive bite. Well, of course, I don't want to call those people, but many of you, I'm such an awful person, but many of you said it was fine for me to reach out to you. And maybe abstinence for me right now is to call someone before I take that first compulsive bite. Maybe that's all it is. I don't know. I need to think about this. I'm definitely going back. And I think it's where I need to be right now, and I don't feel all weird about it. I'm not a joiner generally, and I'm not I don't know what I am anymore. I mean, everything has changed so much in this last year. I don't really know what I am anymore. But they had a little thing in the packet that they gave me, which you can see, which is like 15 questions that kind of are your guide to whether you're a compulsive overeater. Oh, and this was the other thing I was going to say. Somebody was talking about, and I know I'm not supposed to say what they're talking about. I will give no identifying factors, and this just seems kind of standard to me, but it's like some people have a problem with food and weight, and some people have a problem with compulsive overeating. And I was thinking maybe this is also tied into the lifetime fat versus temporary fat, because maybe, and that has something to do with that whole issue, which is a whole other Fat Kings topic, but it was interesting. I was like, yeah, maybe some people do. People who gain weight later in life maybe just have a problem with food for that moment, but they don't have these compulsive eating behaviors. So anyway, I'm going to read these questions real quick, but they have 15 questions, and my answer to like most of them was yes. Do I eat when I'm not hungry or not eat when my body needs nourishment? Yes, I eat when I'm not hungry now. I don't do it a lot, but I do absolutely do it. Do I go on eating binges for no apparent reason, sometimes eating until I'm stuffed or even feel sick? Yes, I mean, a binge is very different now. I mean, a binge might be 2 pieces of pizza now, where before it was like a whole pizza plus ice cream plus cake plus whatever. So that's check. Do I have feelings of guilt, shame, or embarrassment about my weight or the way I eat? I do not have embarrassment about my weight anymore. I have embarrassment about the way I ate, like yesterday in the car with no silverware. Do I eat sensibly in front of others and then make up for it when I'm alone? I do that occasionally now. Is my eating affecting my health or the way I live my life? Not really, but I mean, if I continue on this behavior, it might not help me lose the rest of the weight I want or maintain my weight loss. When my emotions are intense, whether positive or negative, do I find myself reaching for food? That would be a positive. Do my eating behaviors make me or others unhappy? I mean, they make me unhappy. I don't think they're affecting anybody else. Have I ever used laxatives, vomiting, diuretics, excessive exercise, diet pills, shots, or other medical interventions? This is the part that kind of annoys me because it's in parentheses, including surgery, to try to control my weight. I do not agree. I didn't see this the first time I read it, and that actually pisses me off. I do not agree that everybody who has surgery has a eating disorder. Like I just said, lifetime fat, food, compulsive overeating. But yes, I have used laxatives, I have used vomiting, I have used diuretics. I don't think I use excessive exercise. I have used diet pills, I have used shots. And yes, I had surgery. Do I fast or severely restrict my food intake to control my weight? No, I mean, not any more than as is related to weight loss surgery. Do I fantasize about how much better life would be if I were a different size or weight? No, I don't do that. I used to do that for sure, but even if I didn't, I want to lose more weight, but even if I didn't lose another pound, my life is pretty damn good. Do I need to chew or have something in my mouth all the time? Food, gum, mints, candies, or beverages? Sometimes, whenever I'm in a situation that makes me at all nervous or anxious, I have to have something to drink, either coffee or water or something. Have I ever eaten food that is burned, frozen, or spoiled from containers in the grocery store or out of the garbage? I don't think so. I mean, maybe burnt food. I don't know. Are there certain foods I can't stop eating after having the first bite? Well, there are certain foods that do tend to be trigger foods for me. Have I lost weight with a diet or period of control, only to be followed by bouts of uncontrolled eating and or weight gain? Of course. Do I spend too much time thinking about food, arguing with myself about whether or what to eat, planning the next diet or exercise cure, or counting calories? Well, I mean, yes, probably for a normal person, I do spend too much time doing that, but I don't feel like I do that obsessively. I do that as it relates to controlling my weight after weight loss surgery. But anyway, so yeah, I think it's pretty clear that I have some issues with compulsive overeating. So I'm going to go. I don't like to stay after and talk to people. I have to get comfortable with people before I'll have actual conversations with them. But it was a good thing. I'm glad I did it. And that's that. All right, you guys have a great night and a great rest of the week, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.